Hi everyone, I am Ariel with Ariel Paints. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to do this very simple Halloween design, and I've designed this to work as a standalone design or with Blacklight. Key the Blacklight from my daughter. Shine the Blacklight on my face. Right here. There you go. So you can see it has neons placed throughout the design so that it works as a UV black light design, but then when you take the light away, it is a good standalone Halloween design as well. So I'm also going to show you a trick how to find those neons and UV paints in your kit without going and buying special UV paint. I don't have specific UV paint, so stick around. I'm going to show you that trick. And if you'd like to see how I got this very easy, quick design, then stay tuned and we'll get started. I'm going to start with Leanne's Tropical Butterfly, and I'm going to stick to the lighter tones in this cake. So I'm just going to load basically 3/4 of the cake and just a little bit of the darker blue. And then I'm going to go ahead and apply it to the corner of my eye in a C shape. And then I'm going to grab my dot stencil, line up the colors pretty well, and then I'm going to use this to define the shape and soften the edges. You can use a variety of stencils to do this as well. I just recommend when you're picking a stencil, use something with a condensed pattern, and that way you are adding to the design but not taking away from the overall background. Say hi. Okay, you want to watch me finish? Okay, go stand over there.
Can I bring a stool over?
Sure. So Billy has come to help me finish this design, which was very sweet of her. I am just taking a filbert brush loaded very well with white and doing a rough shape of a ghost here. And in hindsight, I really should have done this like up at the top of my forehead a little bit, like right there. So that way I wasn't going over this paint, but it's not a big deal. I'm gonna let this first layer dry and then I'm gonna go over it again with white so that it's nice and opaque and bright. So now I just have laid down a curved line with a loop at the end so that my haunted house has something to sit on. And what I did here is I just Google imaged silhouette of a haunted house. I think this is number 3 when you do that. And I'm just roughly outlining what I see. The nice thing about doing haunted houses like this is they can be kind of crooked and they don't have to be perfect, and there's so many different shapes that you can do. So just find one that's easy for you to replicate. And I'm doing it in solid black. This one had a little fence, kind of balcony at the top and a little fence at the side, and then silhouette of a cemetery on one side. So I liked it, and it was really, really easy to paint. So I'm just filling that in using a round brush. And here's the little cemetery. And it was really easy and really cute. And now I'm just going to add some bats. The bats are pretty simple. A larger dot, 2 little triangles at the top for ears, and then the wings you can think of as triangles as well. I think that's the easiest breakdown to do really quick bats on the job. And by all means, if you have a stencil, use a stencil. I didn't. And it was hard to paint on myself at this angle, but I think when you're doing it on kids and you're standing in front of them, bats are not that hard. Okay, I just had to take a deep breath because that was actually hard to do on myself. But you can also do bats like I just did the second one with a dot and 2 little scallops. They still look like bats and they're 1,000 times easier. While I have black on my brush, I'm going to add in the ghost's mouth and eyes. And now I'm going to take neon yellow and I'm going to outline the ghost with it, but not on the outside of it. I'm just going to go on the inside border of the white and I'm going to add that neon. And then I'm going to move down and start adding neon lights or windows to my haunted house. And I'm going to slow down the video and explain to you guys what I'm doing here if you haven't figured it out. I'm creating layers of neon paint and then my matte regular paint, and then neon paint again to create a look of a UV black light look without having to use special paint. So if you're going to do designs like this and you don't have any UV paint, like I don't, I have no designated UV paint in my kit, but what I do have is a lot of face paint. And stay tuned towards the end. I'll show you exactly what I do to find the paint in my kit that reacts to black light. It's pretty simple. So again, I'm layering this with neon paint, things like the regular white of the Ghost. It is not neon or UV white, it's just Diamond Effects white. And then regular matte black paint, but then making sure that I'm adding things like the neon yellow windows and the neon yellow border on the Ghost, which I will also line him with black. That's why I made sure that that neon yellow line is actually on the white and not on the border of the Ghost. So it's a strategic way to create a design like this when you don't really have designated UV paint. So I'm almost done with these details. I added a couple eyes to the larger bat at the top of my forehead, which will be just a nice, cool little effect when I do have that black light. And as I mentioned, I am going to line the Ghost with black, making sure not to cover up that UV or neon yellow paint, I should say, because I did try to keep that more on the inside border of my Ghost because I want to make sure that my Ghost stands out. So having the neon behind the Ghost and then having that neon line above the Ghost should ensure that I get that reaction I'm looking for when I put the black light on it. So I went ahead and added some stars as well with that neon yellow. Whenever you are creating a design like this, just make sure that you are balancing the colors and the values and the neons and the mattes. So I added the yellow stars because I want to make sure that that neon yellow is pulled through the design when the black light is not on it, and then when the black light is on it, that everything is balanced as well. So the last step here is going to be to add this really cool vivid chunky glitter in Candy Cosmos. This is a UV glitter, so I'm really excited to use this. I just got this if you saw my last haul video. This is one of the items that I got, and I was really excited to use this glitter, focusing it mainly on the outside of the design and then through just a few holes I had in the design. And we're done. So here's my design without the black light, and here is the design with the black light. So as you can see, all of those neon paints that I used are the ones that are going to react to that black light. And then the mattes that I used, or the regular paint, like the black and the white, are counteracting that UV and giving it depth. So can you guess how I figure out what paint in my kit will work with the black light? I turn off the lights and I take my blacklight flashlight and I point it at my kit. I know, no big mystery, right? But although we know neons will pretty much shine in black lights, there's some other paint that's really surprising that I didn't realize was going to react to the black light so well. So I absolutely recommend that you guys try this and see what paints you have in your kit that are just going to work without going out and having to buy brand new paint. So I hope this gave you guys some ideas. As always, like and subscribe. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and I will see you in my next video.